Glorious's new Model D2 Wireless Ergonomic mouse is an interesting take on the recently launched gaming mice that have been coming our way since the start of 2024. Glorious trims back on the high-end speed features and focuses on the core elements that most gamers will likely appreciate. Hey gamers, Minus10 here, and over the last week I've been working and gaming on the glorious Model D2. I purchased the Model D2 with my own money, and all the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. So keep on watching to understand why I think the Model D2 will gather a loyal following within the glut of lightweight gaming mice. So let's do a quick overview of the features. The glorious Model D2 is an ultralight ergonomic gaming mouse with built-in RGB. Nice. It comes with wired 2.4 GHz and Bluetooth connectivity. The glorious switches are rated to endure up to 80 million clicks, and the sensor is the BAMF 2.0 that caps DPI at 26K. The D2's feet are 4 smallish PTFE pads in the 4 corners of the mouse, and the Model D2 pulls up to 1000 Hz. The Model D2 does have a DPI switcher on the top of the mouse, but the indicator light is on the bottom. In regards to the weight and size, the Model D2 is light at 66 grams, but not as light as some of the other mice that have been recently launching. Size-wise, the Model D2 is 125 millimeters in length, 54 millimeters at the widest point, and 42 millimeters high. Do note, my measurements differ from what Glorious posts on their website, but they are similar. Where the Model D2 differentiates itself from the other launches we've seen from Asus, Razer, and Logitech is that the Model D2 scales back its performance and adds a splash of style, the RGB. Now, this is subjective for sure, but I'm a huge fan of RGB and a sucker for well-placed RGB lighting. The Model D2 has a modest RGB light that curves from the front of the mouse over the back forward buttons and ends at the rear of the mouse. The lighting is controlled from the Glorious Core 2.0 app, and its brightness can be set at any level. During my week of work and gaming, I used the 2.4 GHz dongle and kept the RGB at 100%. With these settings, I got about 6 hours of battery life. Ouch. With the RGB set at 50%, I was able to go about a day and a half before I had to rejuice the Model D2. The RGB comes with a serious battery hit, but I really appreciate Glorious trying to do something different in staying true to its gamer focus. Now, if you don't like RGB, you're not going to like this mouse. For those gamers who do appreciate a touch of RGB style, you can't add in the hyper polling rates like you see in other mice. The battery just wouldn't last. As such, the Model D2's peak polling speed is 1000 Hz with a 26K DPI cap. If you do keep the RGB off, Glory says you'll get about 110 hours while gaming on the 2.4 GHz dongle. I've said this before, and I really can't tell the difference between 2, 4, and 8K Hz polling. However, I can tell the difference between 1000 and 2000 Hz polling. If you're playing fast-paced first-person shooters or battle royale games, 1000 Hz may not cut it for you. But if you're mostly a single-player gamer, 1000 Hz won't be a big issue. As for the slightly lower DPI sensor cap at 26K, relative to other companies' mice, my view is other gaming device makers should scale back their sensors to lower costs, as I've never really seen anyone game at anything much higher than 3K DPI. Glorious is taking the right approach here. So how does Glorious entice gamers to choose this mouse with noticeably slower polling and DPI speeds? Easy. The price and solid core features. The weight, PTFE feet, and the buttons are all within current market standards and all felt good while gaming. The Glorious Model D2 ergonomic mouse retails at launch for $100, and it won't be too long before it's on sale. Top-end gaming gear comes with a premium price tag, and Glorious deserves credit for building a decent mouse option with solid features at what I would consider a reasonable price point. Gamers can buy the Model D2 Pro 4 and 8K for about $30 more. However, this mouse's battery life is subpar. The only real critique I have with the Model D2 is the DPI changer button and how to set the mouse's DPI. I'm a huge fan of being able to change DPIs on the fly, as I always work and game with 2 different DPI settings. What I fail to understand is why Glorious didn't put the DPI changer indicator light on the top of the mouse. It's on the bottom. The other challenge is setting up the DPI on its Core 2.0 app. It is beyond clunky and it's very hard to use. It would be great if gamers could just slide the color DPI button up or down to set the speed, or just type it in. Gamers can do neither. Overall, the Glorious Model D2 is a solid gaming mouse option if you're looking for a lower cost gaming mouse that is best suited for single player gaming and you want a splash of RGB. Glorious nails the core features with excellent buttons, smooth PTFE mice feet, a reasonably light mouse, and a comfortable ergonomic feel. At $100, the Model D2 is an easy recommend. That said, if you are primarily a first-person shooter gamer, 1000 Hz polling may not be your cup of tea. If you enjoyed this review of the Glorious Model D2 Wireless RGB Gaming Mouse, I'd really appreciate a like on the video as well as a sub if you'd like to follow me as a content creator. All comments below are welcome too. Thanks for watching.